being back here. I mean, you get to sleep in your own bed for more than a couple days.
I'm happy we don't have to pack a suitcase. I was thinking about that this morning. He said, tomorrow we don't have to pack up. We can just come to practice and go home and rest again and get ready for hopefully a great, energized game on Thursday. So it is kind of nice to be home.
You managed the schedule, even with 3 of 4. A lot of teams would have lost 3 of 4 there, but how important now are these games coming up with the Arizona schools?
I would have liked to come back splitting these 4 because I thought it would have put us in unbelievable shape. And the key thing is I think there's probably only about 5 teams in the country that can say they're locked for an NCAA tournament. The rest of us still need to win games, and you do need to manage your schedule, as I use that phrase quite a bit throughout through closing out the season and everything. So I just think the fact that we're home in McArthur Court, the schedule really changes in our favor as long as we win these home games, because then it could turn the other way if you let 1 or 2 of them get away from you.
Coach, you've talked about getting back to work, getting back on the defensive end, things like that. You've identified changes for the players to make. Are there any changes that you need to make?
Probably a few more substitutions to hold some people accountable to what they need to do on the floor. I think as we looked at more and more tape, we have not been bad. This team hasn't been bad at all year long in terms of defensively, offensively, what we need for them to do. So it's just, to me, more about just getting a little bit more consistent, a little bit more accountable in terms of heading down the stretch here with our schedule. So this is a very good basketball team that has responded extremely well to us. They were great in practice yesterday. I expect them to be the same today as we get ready for a game on Thursday.
Does that mean you're going to yank guys who don't play hard on D?
Not yank.
I'm sorry.
No, I think it's not a matter of playing hard on D, because I think they do. I think it's just being accountable to their rotations and what they need to do. But no, you're not going to see me just up and down just yanking guys in and out of games and everything. But we have talked about it, and I've yanked them in and out of practice right now just to let them know what it's going to be like in terms of not taking care of your responsibilities. But they'll respond. They'll be ready to play.
How's the tough guy stuff going? And are we going to see more of that today?
When you talk about tough guy stuff, it's just a matter of getting some good practices underneath your belt. And sometimes with the road trip, that can throw you off as well, too. So I think the thing we've been able to do yesterday is just to grind through a really good, hard practice, even though it's only about an hour and 30 minutes. So we're not going to kill people and take their legs away at this point in time in the year. It's more just about, hey, let's get back to doing some of the things we did earlier in terms of the physical things that make you a little bit more tougher on that defensive end of the floor. So we'll definitely, hopefully there'll be a carryover into the game. But more importantly, it's just accountability.
So
that's all it is.
Almost like more of a mental preparation thing. Like
no question about it. A little refresher course on how we got to this point, what they need to do to be successful, and then, to the things we got to really look at is Malik missed a lot of practice time, and we did a lot of our repetitious work. No different than Chandler Gucci missed a lot of practice time too in that month he was out. So it's really just about getting these guys back to some basics in terms of what we need to understand, we need to do every night out to be successful.
And you see Arizona State, they're getting a little closer and a little closer. I mean, they almost beat Washington State the other night, so it's like you don't want to be the first.
Well, I'll say it again, this is a very, very, very tough Pac-10 conference. I mean, if people think that there's anybody on our schedule we're going to blow out, no. Take your heart medicine and everything else and be ready, because all the games for us are going to be possession game type of games. We would hope to have a little bit of a cushion coming down the stretch, but if it doesn't happen, that will not surprise me, because these are two, obviously Arizona's good, but Arizona State's playing really good basketball right now.
Is it kind of a good thing that you're not maybe as highly ranked now and you've gotten kind of some losses under your belt at all?
No, never want to lose. Win them all if you can. I think the thing is to remember, though, the rankings still don't really mean a lot in terms of what happens about a month or so from now. So we can still move up, if you want to say, in the rankings. I'm more concerned about where we're at come the end of February, heading into March. Now, where are we ranked? Because now is the time to start having the conversation about the potentials of postseason play and those types of things. And it may even take us having a conversation in the middle of the Pac-10 tournament as well, too.
Coach, do you expect, this being your several years being here, do you expect to have a lull at each point during the season, or do you look at it where these are easily correctable as far as like turnovers and things like that?
It's extremely hard, I think, to play perfect for 27, 28 games. If you remember Luke and Luke now, we went down to the Bay Area and lost 2 back-to-back games down there. At some point in time during the season, you're going to have a situation where you need to step back and get re-energized and make another push. Sometimes you have a couple of those situations, and I certainly sensed it coming with this team on this road trip, back-to-back road trips and everything. I felt it. They felt it as well, too. Now, the other side of that is hopefully the fact that we're back home, we can get re-energized and we can go in the other direction now coming down the stretch, which is typical of teams as well, too. Particularly teams that I've had here have been pretty good come the month of January, February, heading into March.
How much of it is just a simple matter of playing 2 really good teams on the road? Are you that worried?
No. Realize again now, I thought we played 4 really good teams on the road, because Washington, that was an intense battle up there, and to do that without Brooks, it was a very physical game. The rivalry was there. They had the number 7 team coming in, and then you go over to Washington State, 5,000 students to line up before the game. It was another very physical, intense game. And you come right home, go right back on the road again, and play the toughest team in the conference, one of the top teams in the country in UCLA, and then another SC team sitting there. So there were no cupcakes on that schedule and no easy games on that schedule. Every game in itself was a physical, mental drain on your body. So you've gotten through it. It's behind you. There's no more we can do about it but move forward now. Hopefully all the energy in this building turns around in our favor now.